Hey guys, it's Nathan from Arms of Illum here with another custom Saber reveal. This will also serve as a bit of a tech demo slash first run for my new camera, which I hope will help give you guys a little bit better view of some of the close-in shots that I try and get. I found my DSLR just doesn't do a very good job of autofocusing, if it does it at all. So we're going to try something new here. This particular Saber is the Darth Vader Hasbro Black Series. I did this one up as a custom for a former coworker who's moving away and is a Darth Vader fan, so I couldn't really think of a better option for him than the Darth Vader hilt. As you can see, this is a New Hope one. So you've got the grips that stop here before they hit the clamp, along with the off-centered clamp and all that. So it's a pretty accurate hilt. I'm actually quite pleased with this particular piece from Hasbro. I think that some of their ones, I mean, you look at like the Return of the Jedi, Luke Skywalker, pretty weak replica there. Anything with a thin neck they do is really weak. But this particular Saber is every bit as good as, in a lot of ways, as some of the customs out there. So I'm quite pleased with it. So basically, we've got the Darth Vader hilt. It's been totally converted. So use the TCSS LED unit here with the blade holder. And then I did a custom chassis, which I will not take out of this for this video. It's secured with a set screw, and then also with the retention ring here at the back. So my apologies, I'm just not going to take it out. If you want to see photos of it, especially like the work in progress photos, be sure to check out the description that will be in the link, or the link that will be in the description, and I'll have that in there once I get it done. It's going to take me a few days to hammer out that written overview, but then you can kind of see what I did. It's pretty simple. It's PVC. It turns out Schedule 40 1-inch PVC pipe fits perfectly inside this hilt. So you can buy that anywhere, and it made my life very, very easy. But anyway, from an electronic standpoint, this guy has the Spark 2 soundboard from Nigon's Electronic Creations. The reason I went with that is because the Black Series Sabers ship with a latching switch here in the bubble card, and so rather than use like the Nino Biscotti that I normally would use and have to come up with a momentary switch solution, I wanted to retain that functionality, so I went with the Spark 2. You'll also see tucked in right behind there is a tiny little, there you go, it's focused now, tiny little momentary switch. That's going to handle the auxiliary function, so the blaster block and the blade lockup that this particular board supports, well, there's where that'll all come from. Moving to the very front, I think the last feature worth noting is the blade, which is a 36-inch, I mean it's long, 36-inch Ultra Sabers mid-grade that I've sanded with 150 grit sandpaper to give it a nice frosted effect and much better diffusion. I'm not a big fan of the mid-grade blades as they come because I don't like the light in a tube effect that those will give you, so I typically sand them, but once you sand them, they're fantastic. They're well priced. I mean, for a grab bag like this one, $10 full blade. I mean, you gotta pay the shipping, so I might as well buy like 5 of them and get a free one like I did. But regardless, it's a good blade for the price. Type of thing you can just throw in with an order without even thinking about. The only downside is the grab bags. You don't get to choose. Could end up with an Ultra Edge. I don't necessarily see that as a problem, but it is what it is. Outside of that, it's powered by an 18650 lithium-ion battery. Is not removable because we got the recharge port and all that. So yeah, I'll go ahead and kind of go over what sound fonts are installed on this guy. The first one when I power this on is going to be the Father Son that comes with the Spark 2. It's a nice font. It's great if you're wanting to do like a flicker, which I left everything default for that first font. I found that the Spark 2 is a little bit a little bit more difficult to work with than a Nano Biscotti from a sound configuration and, you know, file perspective. So I left that one on there. I went ahead and replaced the second font though and put Lord Blaco's Vader 1 for the Rogue One inspired sounds. And I think back to the first time I saw the ending scene there, and just the activation sound on the Saber was on point there. The hum was on point. So to be able to put that in this Saber was a lot of fun. And then the last font is the All Too Easy, which also comes by default on the Spark 2 and is actually a fantastic Vader font as it is. So basically you got 2 Darth Vader fonts and then a Luke Skywalker font, which I've played around a little bit with using a pink blade to kind of replicate some of the scenes from Empire Strikes Back. It was really just a for fun type font, and then the other 2 I took a little bit more seriously. Then you got the Saber tracks at the end, which will do the Imperial March. And so there were a few issues I ran into. I'm still working on tweaking some of those settings with respect to the Saber tracks, so I actually have to put the kill key in right now to get them to turn off. For some reason, no matter what I do, it doesn't really want to acknowledge that I'm using a latching switch, and the momentary switch directions also don't seem to quite work. It just wants to loop it whenever I try and turn it off. So still working with that. If anybody has any suggestions, has seen that before, let me know in the comments. I'm certainly open to any kind of feedback you have there. I'm also working on some of the sensitivity settings still, so you'll notice that like the clashes, even though I've turned up the sensitivity for those, and by turned up I mean I've made it more sensitive, it's not quite where I want it. I mean, you really have to bang this against something to get it to register. So working on that. Swings by default on the Spark 2 are very sensitive, so also kind of working to tweak some of that so that it doesn't just play a swing every time you move the thing. Kinda, I think we're doing alright there, but who knows. We'll see, and also I'm going to give my buddy some instructions on how to tweak this if he needs to. So without further ado, let's go ahead and pull the kill key and get started here. So there's your boot sound. From there, turn on the first font, which is the Father Son. So you can see it's very bright, and in person, very pink. In fact, maybe a little too pink. I might play around with this a little bit in the config files before I deliver it, but I kind of like it. Just maybe not quite for a Vader. Anyway, so you got the standard swing sounds. Oops, I accidentally activated a blaster. Got a clash. Pretty good clash recognition right there. I'm kind of surprised I really had to beat on this thing to get it to do it. You got the blaster effects. Nice bright white flash. And then the one thing I noticed with this switch is if I do not, when I'm trying to activate the blade lockup, which is a press and hold on the auxiliary switch, if I do not press it at a 90-degree angle, it does just kind of do a blaster deflect. It doesn't seem to register the hold, you know, that I'm holding it down. So, but without belaboring that point. It's a good lockup sound, and this thing's freaking bright. Honestly, it looks great. Turn that off. Turn off the Saber by simply sliding the latching switch back to its original position. The one thing I did do on this switch is I shaved off a little bit of the front. I noticed that I actually have my own Black Series Darth Vader, and anytime I'm swinging it around just for the fun of it, I always hit the front edge of the switch and turn the thing off, which isn't cool. So I went ahead and shaved off a little bit so that that's less likely to happen for him if he decides that he's gonna duel with this, which isn't the friendliest hilt to duel with, but regardless. So we'll go on the next font by pressing once to get to the font menu on the, pressing the auxiliary button here, and then pressing it again quickly to get to the next font. I didn't use the default boot sound for this font. I used one of the effect sounds because it's cooler. So we'll go ahead and activate this one. This one actually has, I believe, 4 different activation sounds, and one of the beauties of this board, as opposed to, you know, the Plector boards that I normally use, is that it'll actually randomly select an activation sound. I should say it's different than the Nano Biscottis that I've used in the past, but it'll randomly select one of these activation sounds. It sounds really great. So there's one. That's not my favorite though. Neither's that one. I think it's the same. There you go. That low hum sounds exactly like it does in the film, and I think that that's just vicious. This is a standard. I mean, this is a regular red blade. I didn't add any of the white on top of it like I did on the other. But you can hit the blaster again. Very sensitive, very responsive. Nice flashes. I like the default flash duration on the Spark 2 as opposed to like the Nanos and such, because it is really short. You can tweak that though in any of the boards, so not exactly like it's a major point of distinction, but something I noticed right off the bat with this guy. Again, the blaster and the lockup. Same color for the lockup as the previous font, because you're just turning on full power white dye. So we will turn this off and then go on to the All Too Easy font. And boom. Very similar. The only thing I really did here was this font, as it comes, is made to, or is set to run off of a static blade, because Darth Vader's blade is usually fairly static, if not totally static, depending on the film and situation. There's not really any flicker. I added a little flicker to this one, just a real subtle, fast flicker, because, well, it's more interesting. We've already got a static blade font on this, so, which was the previous Vader, the Vader R1, so this is got a little bit of a flicker. Similar sounds, very similar hum. The swing sounds are all very Vader-like. The clash. There you got that. Sounds pretty similar to the previous font, as do the blaster and the lockup. It's a little bit higher pitched lockup than the Vader R1, but all in all, it's a very similar font. We'll power it off. Alright, and then for the Saber tracks, I've got the Imperial March on here, but as I think I mentioned previously, I'm still kind of working to figure out exactly what's going on here. It doesn't really work with the latching switch, so you got to treat it like a momentary to turn it on, but then to turn it off, it doesn't seem to quite follow like the expected result. That is, I should be able to turn the switch on for like a second and then close it really quickly and have the Saber track stop playing. What it really does is just loops. So I'm still working on that one. If anybody, like I think I said before, has any suggestions on how to fix that, be sure to let me know. But we'll go ahead and go to that, and then I'll have to stick in the kill key to kill it.
Saber tracks.
Sounds good. By the way, this is a 2-watt bass speaker inside there. With a good resonance chamber of about that. I mean, we're talking about 1.5 inches to maybe probably more like 2 inches of resonance in there. Not to mention everything behind it, which is just a huge open tube. Saber sounds great, as does the sound. Fortunately, still working on that looping issue. So, we'll figure that one out, but not a big deal. This is kind of an add-on feature anyway. We put the kill key in, it shuts off. So, that's pretty much that. Like I said, this will be going off to former coworker later this week, hopefully, once I get a little bit of extra time to play with the settings, make sure everything is right up to where I would want it if it were my own, and then we'll go from there. If you have any questions, be sure to post those in the comments. I'll also be adding a written overview of the Saber, and I'll be linking to that in the description within the next, hopefully within the next couple weeks. It takes a little bit of time to put that together. I need to get some high resolution photos before I send this out. So other than that, let me know if you have any questions, and I look forward to seeing you guys again very soon.